everybody. My name is Aaron Kasinitz, and I am the Baltimore Ravens beat reporter for PennLive.com and the Harrisburg Patriot News. And you're looking at me today instead of a Ravens player or a coach because it is the off season. And all year we've been out there covering the team, and we've been able to get videos of players and coaches. But now it's the off season, and there's no practices, there's no games. So I'm going to be bringing you a few videos here on our Ravens on PennLive.com Facebook page. I'll bring you some videos of analysis and other things, and I'll be talking about the off season as we go. We're going to start today. We're going to get going by looking at some positions of need for the Baltimore Ravens. We did a story a few weeks ago on Penn Live kind of outlining the positions of need for the team, and we picked 5 to share with you in this video, the top 5 positions of need for the Ravens. And we judged this basically figuring out which positions the team is going to need to focus on. So they're not going to need to focus on quarterback because they got Lamar Jackson there in the fold. And sure, there's decisions to make at that position and everywhere else. But these 5 positions we've identified here are the ones that the team really needs to make sure they shore up this offseason. And we'll start with number 5 as wide receiver. The reason this isn't higher is because there is some potential there. Marquise Brown, the first-round pick in 2019, had a very good rookie season. He tied a Ravens rookie record with 7 touchdown catches and showed flashes of being a really productive, not just a deep threat wide receiver. That's where he's at his best, running those go routes. But he's a versatile wide receiver who can do a lot of things. He looks like he has star caliber potential. The Ravens also have a slot receiver in Willie Snead. The question is, can they get more weapons for Lamar Jackson? Can third-round rookie Miles Boykin become a top-tier target? Those are the questions the Ravens need to consider, and really they probably need, with a couple guys going to free agency like Seth Roberts and Chris Moore, they probably need to add a few receivers in the offseason, whether that's through the draft, whether that's through free agency, to give Lamar Jackson some more targets. The number 4 position of need that we identified is interior offensive line. That's the center and the guard spots. Big question here, will right guard Marcio return for his 14th NFL season, or will he call it quits? Yanda's in Orlando for the Pro Bowl this week. He's made 8 Pro Bowls. He's a great player. If he leaves, all of a sudden you've got a really young interior of the offensive line, and the Ravens want to run the ball. You need good linemen. Then the top 3 positions of need all exist in the front 7 for the Ravens. Number 3 is defensive line. Top defensive tackle Michael Pierce, his contract expires in March, so he can be a free agent. Other guys that the Ravens signed midway through the season, Damata Pecco, Jahad Ward, Justin Ellis. There's a lot of players that the Ravens acquired to beef up that defensive line. They are all eligible to enter free agency this offseason. The Ravens really have 2 full-time defensive linemen returning from last year, Brandon Williams and Chris Wormley. They also have Pat Ricard, fullback, who might be focusing more on offense, and 5th-round rookie Dalen Mack, who only appeared in 1 game. Both of those guys are under contract for next year, but you need more than that. They need to beef up the defensive line to strengthen that defense. Number 2 position of need is inside linebacker. This past season, the Ravens thought maybe Patrick Owasu could handle the Mike linebacker duties, the middle linebacker spot that C.J. Mosley and Ray Lewis have played in the past in Baltimore. He did not really shine in that role, and so the Ravens needed to make some adjustments. They went out and signed Josh Bynes, L.J. Fort midway through the year. Well, now Owasu and Bynes are both eligible to enter free agency this offseason, and the Ravens don't want to be in the same position that they were in this past year, where they needed to kind of makeshift, change the linebacker core on the fly. To avoid that, they need to get some inside linebacker talent. And then the number 1 position of need, it's outside linebacker. It's edge rusher. However you want to call it, the Ravens need players who can put pressure on the quarterback. This past year, just 1 player on the team had more than 5 sacks. That was Pro Bowler Matthew Judon. Well, guess what? His contract expires too. So the Ravens could use franchise tag on Judon. They could try and sign him to a long-term deal. If they don't do that, they need at least 1, probably 2 outside linebackers to fill out the depth chart because they are really thin at that spot. And, in the NFL, it's really considered a very important position, that edge rusher spot, because you need to be able to put pressure on the quarterbacks. The Ravens need the players to do that. And if they don't sign Matthew Judon, or they don't find a way to retain him, they don't really have a great depth chart there. Jalen Ferguson and Tyus Bowser would be the only outside linebackers under contract. So the Ravens have their quarterback and Lamar Jackson. Now they need to find some players who can pressure opposing quarterbacks if they want to sustain their success and be a contender for years to come. And those are the positions of need that you should be looking out for this offseason for the Baltimore Ravens.